Hi, I'm Professor Bittner. Welcome to Biology 1406 online. This orientation video will be followed by a short quiz to make sure that you and I are on the same page regarding what you need to do to get started, and maybe you can get to know me a little bit. I'm going to present fundamentally what you need to know to get started, how to contact me, and kind of an overview of the course structure week to week. So the first thing I want to present is, and you'll find that I'm a little bit low tech, and I also use some technology, but I like to be low tech when it's reasonable. I've got this little sheet that I made, how to get in contact with me. There's many ways to get in contact with me. The best way is probably going to be this Remind app. It's a text app, and once you join, it's just a message between you and me. It's not a group text. So all you have to do is open up your text, put the number 81010 as if that's my phone number, and then the message you'll say at 8D8964E. All right. And that joins you to me and we can text. My email is jbittner, and that's how you pronounce my last name, Bittner, at dallascollege.edu. If you say Butner or Butner, it's okay, but it's really pronounced Bittner. And the other way that you can contact me is during office hours. There will be a link on Teams, so that's another way. When we're on the semester, I'm on checking for messages all the time. Now, middle of the night, count me out. But I'm on basically 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. So I try to get back to you as fast as I can, and I think you'll find that I get back to you pretty quickly. So text is going to be a pretty good way. Email is a pretty good way to get in contact with me. And then if we need to jump on a Zoom call or a Teams or something like that, we'll do that as necessary. When you log in, I'm showing you right now the screen. This is your course screen here on eCampus on Brightspace D2L. And of course, when you go in, you'll see this Start Here button. So hopefully that's how you found this video. And there is going to be a little quiz that you're going to do after this video is done. I'll talk about that more in a second. One thing I want you to make sure is if you go up to this top corner where it has your name, click on that and go down to notifications and click on that and scroll down. You can do any of these app things you like, that's up to you. But if you scroll down, you have all these instant notification options. We're not going to do any discussion boards, so you don't need to worry about any of that. But I do think announcements is something you want to get updates on. You can do any of the assignments if you want it. I don't think you should do most of these other things, because what's going to happen is you're going to get 4,000 emails notifying you that I've made a little tweak or little change. And I'm not making a change in anything that you're working on right now. I'm working on something for the end of the semester. So it's nothing that's going to affect you. I would never change something when we're midstream, when you're working on a module. So that doesn't happen. The only time it might happen is if I had to make a fix or something, but I would let everyone know on an announcement. So I think if you just get announcements sent to your email, that's sufficient. Anything else, you can just ask me, send me an email or text me or come to office hour. But sometimes I think students get way too many notifications and then you don't see something that you really do need to pay attention to. So that would be my suggestion for this class. I'm going to go over what we're going to be doing each week. Like I said, there is going to be a little orientation assignment, and you want to take notes on this video. You may need to rewind and start taking notes. But there's going to be a little quiz, and the quiz over this assignment is practice for how all the quizzes will go in the course. So the orientation assignment quiz is going to be very easy if you're paying attention and taking notes. And then also shows you how the quizzes will go. Typically, the quizzes are about 10 minutes, and you do one question at a time, no backtracking. And so, you want to know the material for a quiz. You can have your notes, but you have to know the material well enough to answer the questions quick enough to get through the time limit. Okay? If you don't know it, you need to study before you retake the quiz. You can retake the quiz as many times as you want, but the computer is going to average the scores. And some of the questions will be different each time. So study and then take the quiz and then repeat it as many times until you're happy with the average grade. All right, so that's one thing. Now, week to week, what we mainly are going to have as our course structure is shown here. The first thing is I provide a preview sheet, which you can just download or look at on your screen. Typically, it has 4 or 5 key concepts written out as sentences that you want to repeat over and over in your head and get those solid. And then you'll have a list of vocabulary. Now, it's not the complete vocabulary for the whole chapter. It is a selection to get you started. Then there will be a preview quiz. So once you've studied the preview sheet, you can launch the preview quiz. Just like the orientation quiz, it'll be about 10 questions or 10 minutes. It may be more than 10 questions, but 10 minutes. And you can retake it as many times as you want, but remember, it will average your scores. It's not taking your highest score. So you want to study before you take it the first time, and then you can repeat it until you're happy with the grade. After you've done that, then you'll launch, you can download the PowerPoint and watch the recorded lectures. So I actually do lecture, and I provide lectures, and I'm the lecturer. I'm not linking you to some other person. I do it. It's a lot of work, but I think it's the best way. And you're going to watch that lecture maybe more than once, take notes, and then you will have a post quiz, which is meant to be sort of at the end of the week. Give yourself some time to study that lecture material. All right. And on the post quiz, same as before, 10 minutes, no backtracking. You can use your notes, but you better be able to do it pretty much without your notes. That's really the goal, because on the exam, you're not allowed to use your notes. We'll go over that in a minute. Don't panic. Okay. But you've got that post quiz, and you'll take it as many times as you want, and it'll be the average of those grades. Now, the preview quiz and the post quiz, those are 10 points each, so they're not huge. They're really low stakes, and you practice using those quizzes. Also, most weeks we will have a lab, and the lab, you go through it, you click and do everything they tell you to do. It's all the instructions are built in. The labs are from our publisher, McGraw-Hill, and so those are not created by me, but I do like them reasonably well for an online course, as best we can do. Now, these items will all be in a folder, a weekly folder, and the weekly folder schedule is in your syllabus. And then you will get everything submitted by Saturday night of that week, whatever week that is, by 11:59 p.m. All right, so that is your goal. Then on Sunday, you can either take a break or you can get started with the next week's materials. That's up to you. You'll kind of see how the pace fits for your schedule if you have other things going on, other courses or other, or if you work. All right. After a few weeks, we are going to have what I call the teeny tiny computer check. That's a little small assignment. It says it's a quiz, but really it's just checking that you can log in on the Respondus browser with the webcam. You do need a webcam because for the exams only, you will use the lockdown browser and the webcam. And the exams are worth 100 points apiece, so they're worth a lot. You are not allowed to use your notes on the exam, but you may have one. Let me get out a 3x5 note card, pretty small, that you'll hold up to the camera and you can use it to answer questions. All right. Other than that, I don't want to see you fussing around, over here and over here. But during the test, you can hold up your note card. You don't have to show me what's written on it, but you can use it. And that way, that's legit. So that's meant for all those things that you've been preparing where you just can't seem to remember that one thing. That's what the note card is for. You need to remember there needs to be a lot of things here for the exam, but for those things that are just giving you trouble, you just can't remember them, you squeeze them onto your note card and you have that little bit of a crutch, okay? That means a lot of the knowledge has to be here. I don't know why I'm touching my chin. It has to be up here. And, but just to make you feel more comfortable, maybe so you can relax a little bit. I know exams are stressful, but you can have that note card, okay? So that's what I allow on the exams. So the exams have a webcam and the lockdown browser. You can have a little note card of notes, but that you've already prepared those ahead of time. Week to week, you're doing a preview sheet, studying that, a preview quiz. That one you can use your notes, but the goal here is that eventually it gets into your head for the exam because the preview quiz is only worth 10 points. PowerPoint and recorded lecture with write down your detailed notes, post quiz based on that. So the questions like are in the preview quiz or in the post quiz are very similar to, and in some cases the same as the questions that I select for the exams. So if you're doing well on these and you're not relying on your notes very much, you should do well on the exams, okay? But everything is not going to be something you just look up from your notes. You do have to have knowledge in your brain. But I'm going to walk you through that in the lectures, and the post quiz and the preview quiz, you can just practice those a lot. All right, and then the labs, I don't think the labs are going to be seriously stressful. Online labs, it's really very guided, and you're just learning some concepts about lab techniques and collecting some data and such. So those ones are very well done, and they walk you through. So the labs, I don't think you'll have a problem with. If you do, remember to contact me. I'm very reasonable. If there's something going on and I've screwed something up, I will do my best to make it better and fix it. But for the most part, I've been teaching for 25 years, so I don't think that you're going to have major problems with me. And I'm very communicative. So please reach out to me and we can talk. There's no dumb question. I'm not like that. I'm not going to make you feel bad about stuff. We want to get through the content, and I want you to do well, but a large portion of the responsibility does fall on you, naturally, as the student. But please let me know if there's something I can do to reasonably to help, right? So at this point, you've got this 13-minute video that you've completed. So what you're going to do is then launch, maybe re-watch the video, take careful notes, and then launch that quiz. The orientation, I think I call it assignment/quiz. It's really a quiz, but should be pretty easy and give you kind of that format of how all the quizzes are going to be like. And you can retake it as many times as you want with an average score showing up in the grade book. Okay, so then you'll go on to your first weekly folder. So don't wait. There is a chapter going on that's already up there, chapter 1. So it's an introduction chapter, but there are some vocabulary words and there are a few concepts that you are going to learn. So you can go right into that after you finish your orientation quiz. All right, and I hope to hear from you soon, and I hope we have a great semester.